I think we are live right now. I'm not 100% sure. Nothing is in the chat yet. Maybe I can't see the chat though. If you're here, just quickly say something so I know you guys are here. If you're in the chat, just quickly say hey or something like that and I'll be able to see it. Oh, crazy day though. Let's see if somebody's in. Man, what a good day. Ah, here we go. We got the boys in. Oh, look at that. The lads are in the chat. That's it. Oh, there we freaking go, everybody. Welcome back, y'all. It's been a little bit, huh? How y'all doing? All right, where's everybody watching from real quick? Oh, look at that. We instantly got ourselves 400 people in this, and it is right now 2:30 a.m. Dubai time. Not too bad. All right, I was just drinking a nice little tea, and all of a sudden I saw something on Twitter. All right, I first saw something really interesting on Dogecoin. What? It was basically that this ETF got acknowledged, and I was thinking, what exactly does it mean? So I looked it up, and then all of a sudden, a little bit afterwards, you know what happened? Well, the same that happened to Dogecoin just happened with XRP, and the price is doing some interesting stuff right now, all right? And please understand that this is juicy because we're breaking out from the range we described earlier in our video, right? We've basically only been going sideways for XRP for the entirety of the week, and right now we've finally broken through that. However, I am sometimes too realistic for my own good, but it's quite odd we're pumping this much based on an acknowledgement of the SEC. So the reason that this is so significant is because many issuers can come up and say, hey, we've issued, but as long as the SEC doesn't acknowledge it, theoretically speaking, there's no real end date to it, right? Now, we established that most likely in the first quarter of 2025, we will get ourselves a response to whether or not a ETF for XRP would be issued, and Solana. From that note, we also established the numbers, how much money would these ETFs most likely attract, and with XRP's crazy surge in price and crazy surge in interest, plus the fact this lawsuit may be dropped very soon, we estimated, and JP Morgan estimated, the number of inflows to be quite significant. And by the way, before we move on, guys, if you're watching this right now, make sure you go ahead and press that like button right now. You've got nothing to lose, all right? You've got nothing to lose. We got all the people in the chat from everywhere, right? From the couch. We got Canada. We got Subdust, India, we got Michigan, we got Canada, we got Pennsylvania, we got everybody in here. All right, always amazing to see y'all stopping by and saying hi from all these different countries. This guy says he's free tomorrow. Why are you free tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday, brother. Get to work, all right? Get to typing, all right? Get to clicking. You don't deserve free, not yet, all right? We're not high enough, regardless. So, if you're wondering why this is such a big deal and what it means, the long story short from what I've looked up is when it comes to acknowledgement of the SEC, again, it basically just states we are right now going to take a look at it. Maybe not today, but we're going to get you an answer between now and X amount of days. I don't know if there's a set amount of days or if it can differ, but it basically just means that all these filers can put as many filings up as they want, but as long as the SEC has not acknowledged it, you do not know when exactly it's going to happen. And right now, we basically have got ourselves a confirmed end date. It could still, theoretically speaking, be denied, but again, from what we've seen recently, from Brad Garlinghouse's remarks and from all that, it doesn't make sense for it to be denied. So from what I am seeing this as, that's why this tweet is doing so well right now, I guess. Let's quickly take a look. So Eleanor Tourette also posted a bit earlier, the SEC just acknowledged the XRP 19B4 filings, and Brad said, I recall pointing out more than once that this was inevitable, despite some vocal assertions to the contrary. I basically think this just shows XRP ETFs are confirmed and coming. It's just a matter of the SEC now giving the final stamp. But this is basically a matter of, hey, we right now have put the gears to start working to get this official. Why the price is pumping based on that, though, I sometimes wonder. Like, I mean, this is nice and all, but we kind of knew this already. So if it's not the ETFs themselves coming out, sometimes I kind of wonder exactly why the price should go up based on this. But that's just my personal opinion on the matter, right? When I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, I mean, it's bullish, but I already knew XRP ETFs would come. It's just a matter of when exactly. And so what they're saying here is specifically Grayscale's filing. Let's just quickly take a little bit of a look. Self-regulatory organizations, 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗕, to notice of filing of proposed rule change as modified by Amendment Number 1 to list and trade shares of the Grayscale Xrp Trust under the New York NYSE, pursuant to Section 19B of the Securities Act and rule thereunder. Notice is hereby given that on January 30th, filed with the SEC, a proposed rule change to list and trade shares of Grayscale Xrp Trust. On February 10th, the exchange filed Amendment Number 1 to the proposed rule change, which replaced and superseded the original filing in its entirety. Let's see. The Commission is publishing this notice to solicit comments on the proposed rule change as modified by Amendment Number 1 from interested persons. The exchange proposes to list and trade shares of the following under 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗕. Interesting. Yeah, a little bit earlier that came out from Dogecoin. So people were thinking, hey, what exactly is up with that? But obviously, as the XRP news came out, it was a little bit more exciting. I can definitely call it. Or at least there was more excitement for it. Now, again, I would always tell people, don't buy in as like crazy based on hype like this. You can, right? But with Dogecoin, the price really didn't budge too much. It didn't really go up as much. So I'm a little bit more afraid that this also is going to be more, resilient for a crazy pump. Let's see here real quick. Right now, the price is coming down ever so slightly. We're not completely back to the range yet. I still give it a few cents or so, but you get my drift. Why am I being pessimistic? Somebody asks. So the long story short about this is we've been here for a while, all right? And we know that people like to manipulate the price a little bit. They like to make people, go a bit too overzealous on these type of things. And as long as you're not really breaking barriers, which right now, because it was a quick pump, we did not. Since we didn't really break any barrier right now back, it doesn't necessarily set that crazy precedent. We need this basically to be sustained over a few hours. And we're not doing that just quite yet. I mean, it can still happen, give it some time. Because the narrative right now is changing back to bullish. But again, preferably you'd also then see Bitcoin moving up a little bit or some other coins moving up a little bit. It doesn't have to, because as we've recently seen, Bitcoin went sideways for a while and Ethereum went sideways for a while, but XRP just completely shined. But right now, I'd say it's kind of a neutral to slightly negative market day, with XRP all of a sudden outshining the lot. But then again, quickly going back down. But you can see, even the 1 hour, XRP is the top gainer out of everything still, based on just the idea that right now, I think the counter has started for what? 60 days, 90 days, 30 days, 45 days, something like that. So some of you guys are saying, let's quickly see here, it's because there's a 45-day counter now for a decision, and the lawsuit will probably be dropped by then. This is what I'm also thinking. I think also that people right now are buying in because they're thinking, you know what? This basically means the Ripple, from the way they're reacting to this, already know the lawsuit is going to be dropped, like hinting because of these posts, and they know this is probably just going to get approved. It's just now a clock. Somebody else says it starts a 21-day timeline for the filing process. All right. Somebody says spray us in the face with all your knowledge, bro. All right. Sometimes you gotta sit there and take in these comments for a little second to understand what somebody's. He grabbed his phone and he wrote that down. It sometimes doesn't click in my head just quite yet. All right, call me a maniac, but sometimes it doesn't ring completely. I'm like, what? Wait, you wrote that? You wrote that down just now? Regardless, so ChatGPT says 45 days. Brother, thank you for the realistic content, no BS. I try. Sometimes it's difficult. I really thought you typed something else, my brother, but hey, all good. Let's see right here. I'm free tomorrow, loving those 36-hour full-time weeks. Fair enough. How many Q&T to be happy? I mean, that depends on you, right? I'd say some person might be extremely happy just holding one coin, and some other person won't even be happy with his $10 million. All right, so that is a bit medium. Somebody says, is it pumping? This is always a hefty debate, right? I would say that this is a pretty hefty pump, because if you're taking a standard deviation over the last week, this is double that, right? So I would say yes. Let's say it's a pretty significant move, as the price went up like 9% or so in a few hours. So I would call it pumping, but it's debatable. All right, it depends on who's asking. Very much so. So again, why? If you start counting up the blessings here, partially because the lawsuit most likely is really starting to be over now. partially because this means the SEC has to acknowledge it, and because of the way that Brad Garlinghouse is pointing it out right now, it most likely means it's just approved, but we're waiting for it. These are my thoughts, though. If you disagree, let me know, but this is very much so what I think right now. Let's see what some of you guys have been saying. Let's see. I think this is a huge buy the news. All right? This means the case will also be dropped. Yeah, I think also I agree. I would agree with his remarks right there. Somebody says, am I going to be rich or poor? Let's see. Are you guys in here? Is somebody in this, is somebody in my comments like that? If you see your own name, let me know. Somebody says, I have no idea what this means, but I see a lot of people saying it's good, so yay. Think about it, right? You want these acknowledgments. You need them to get an approval of sorts. I would say there might not be a necessity in the truest form, but it just helps to get this process done a little bit quicker. Miller says, just wait till the shorts get liquidated. Those things can move really, really fast. For example, a flash pump like this can really take out a lot of shorts in a quick amount of time. That makes you let me say two things. One is I always say a slower move up is more lasting. And that's mostly because if you have a quick pump up, there's also a lot of people who see a sudden increase in their price who are more prone to basically taking profit now because they see a sudden change. Whereas if it's slower, very often people decide to wait for a longer amount of time. Let's just say you put $1,000 into a coin and it goes up 1% each day. Well, since you're now used to the price slowly going up, you're not as inclined to sell at any point. You're like thinking, I'll take this further and further. If it goes up, doubling in one day, even though it could double for many, many more days in a row, now all of a sudden you made so much money relative, you're thinking, you know what, I should sell a bit, I should sell a bunch because it's probably going to go back down anyway, right? Whereas if it goes slowly but surely, you're less inclined to sell, which is basically a matter of slow and steady wins the race when it comes to upwards. You don't want it to go too quick because even though you are, that's point number 2 here, taking out a lot of shorts the moment you get a spike upwards, because obviously let's say they were shorting at $2.52, for example. Maybe some people had the liquidation price, for example, or stop loss close to $2.60 or just above $2.60. And since the price just now went to maybe just slightly above, it went to $2.60.25, maybe some people got liquidated. They got absolutely wrecked around that price level. It's very much possible. And that's the counter side to it as to why a flash pump, for example, is nicer. I would say, do I rate this news very positive? I'd say yes. Have I learned anything new, though, throughout this announcement? Well, the only thing I guess is that we right now have a ticking clock, right? So whereas before it was, we expect Q1, but we're not quite sure. Now, supposedly, it's about 45 days or so until we get this going. And I think ETF/LUL should drop within a 45-day time frame or so is pretty logical right now. It seems pretty realistic. How many of you guys in the chat here are holding XRP? How many do we got today? All right, and everybody, if you're watching this right now, we've got 1,200 people watching. If every single person that watches this presses the like button, we are at least at 214 because there's at least one person watching. So if you right now are watching this thinking, hey, I did not press that like button yet, you don't have to. Right? You really don't have to. Nothing's going to happen if you do, except for this like button going up. But I do appreciate it. And I must quickly say, I don't like to toot my own horn too much, right? But sometimes you gotta be happy a little bit. you gotta be happy a little bit. So over on Blowfin, we've talked about this for a while. There's a new competition that started today. Right? Today's the first. Yeah. There's a registration period that started last week. Today, officially yesterday, but let's just say today, the competition officially started. I registered, of course, our team. There's about 250 teams in. 200,000 people are in. Officially started today. We right now are number 1 in the entire world on Blowfin with our team. We have about 2,000 members in the team. And that's pretty cool in my opinion, that we are the most profitable team in the entire world right now. I just checked Team P&L. We were number 1. Pretty cool if you ask me. If you are looking to trade crypto, I've got a link down below to Blowfin. It's where our team is at. Because I'm really hoping that eventually, right now, the price pool is only like 80K. But if it eventually goes to a couple $1 million, I don't think we're going to get above 70 billion. But if we get above 30 billion, for example, throughout this period, if we do, this could still be maybe it's going to be an 800K or something like that reward for the number for our team, because they said it's going to be a bit stupid the way they're going to divide it. meaning the number one wins a significant amount more. And I guess the more people we have, the higher chance we've got to keep the top P&L team, which could be very, very juicy. And I keep telling people, if you're trading anyway, just check it out, as we also just did ourselves a 5,000 XRP giveaway, so a little bit over $10,000 or so that we just gave away, which again was pretty cool. So yeah, if that's something for you, make sure you go in and check it out. No! No, we have fallen to number 2. I just quickly refreshed. No! The profit is double, but we have fallen. No, this is super bad. All right, I didn't want to see that. Oh. I should have not looked. We are 8th though in terms of volume, so that's also pretty cool. And the entire world, that's pretty crazy. But man, no, it's only 0.something% as well, huh? Ah, damn. Anyway, that hurts me a bit mentally. Regardless, the likes were pressed. You guys were awesome. We are now at 421 likes, so I appreciate every single one of you, man. Did somebody talk about Dashcoin here? Why is everybody sleeping on Dashcoin? Dashcoin used to be cool like 7-8 years ago. No way you just said 10K XRP. I'm not sure who he's talking about. Maybe me. Let's see here real quick. I've seen nobody say 10K XRP. Somebody says 1200 XRP. No, someone in comment above. Brother, when you're doing the record... Oh, somebody says, is 10K XRP enough? That's the one, huh? So I often get that question, actually. But a funny answer to that one is, if you're asking, is it enough? Well, for a lot of people, it probably is enough then, if you're asking the question. But to me, no, it's not enough. What can you do with 10,000 XRP? It's 25,000 schmeckles, $25,000, you know, US. It's significant. You can change your life with that. You might be able to retire off of that based on the idea that, you know, you were doing good already, you know, living comfortably, but you just need that little boost to get out of your situation. You pay off your debt and be done and be stable now, live off retirement. But for most people that are watching this right now, I don't think $25,000 is going to change their life. So then your question is, how much will it be in the future? And I keep saying, well, even if it goes to $30 a coin, you've got yourself $300,000, which, for example, this year, right? I see it happening. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm just saying it could happen. So in that sense, what is $300,000? Well, to a lot of people, that's life-changing, right? And it was like just only $1,100 a few years ago. So from $1,100 to $300K in a few years, that's pretty solid. But a counter to that would be, you know, depending on how much you want to change your life, it might not be enough. But over a 10-year period, you know, maybe my target of $30, maybe it should be put at $200 a coin. At that point, you're talking maybe about millions of dollars. Then maybe again it becomes enough. So maybe it just depends on your time span. If you're thinking of multiple years to the future, it's significantly different than just thinking about, you know, where it's going to be this year or the next year and a half, something like that. Let's see. But in my opinion, it could be enough. And please, guys, don't go to the comment section writing how much XRP you have. If you order right now, maybe just, it's still time to delete it. You know, you don't want to let the world know exactly how many coins you have or something of those sorts. It's not smart, right? It is not a wise thing to do. You've got nothing to win, only to lose. So make sure you just don't do that. My personal suggestion, right? But, you know, you're free to do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying it's not a smart thing. Somebody says, how have you been, Dusty? Is it warm in Dubai? It's snowing here. The last 2 days have been extremely, extremely warm. Somebody says, is this clickbait? I still don't understand why some people think it should be clickbait. I mean, if you just open your Twitter, you know, just open something, go to Brad Garlinghouse's Twitter and check it out. Somebody also asked, you know, source, what's the source? I mean, the source is officially from Ripple, so yes, it's real. Clickbait. I hope they're trolling me, right? But it could be that people are just mentally a little bit ill. Hey, okay, guys, whoever's watching, like, really, please tell me a little bit. Is it clickbait? Is it really? The title is, SEC just acknowledged the XRP ETF. What does this mean? And that's exactly what Brad Garlinghouse also just responded to. So if this is clickbait, then you got to get your eyes checked, man. Fake source. Ah, you're trolling me now. Now you got me. Okay. But it's fair. And also, if you're wondering about this position, by the way, because some people might think, Dusty, are you not hating your life right now? So the funny thing is, when it comes to virtuals, it's not like I actually believe very much in virtual. So the reason I have this position open, it's kind of just because I thought it was kind of funny. Real talk. It's not because I love virtual or anything like that. I thought, you know what? AI agents are hot. Let me just go for it. And it was actually a significant profit. But it's like, you know. But the reason I didn't buy significantly lower and again is because AI agents were kind of dying out. And I was like, I know that over a run, this will even itself out again. But as it currently stands, AI agents are not in the best spot. They're not getting best amount of hype. And with XRP, I can add significantly more right now. But right now at 252, I think it's actually quite high. I prefer to layer more towards the $2 mark in case we ever do get back there. Because right now the trade is not crazy, but it's still, let's just say 150K. I know it's a little bit less, but let's just say it's $300,000 so that we have in the position. I think it's still nicer to keep our trade rather quote-unquote small, just for in case a big drop happens, because still on the upside, if it does decide to make another move towards those heights, we're quite happy. Whereas now if it goes back down to $2 or less, we're also not in a bad position, because again, even though I know we'll be able to flip it for profit, it's sometimes still not nice though to see your trade be in minus 700,000 or something like that. So now it's a minus 40K a few days ago, minus 12K or something like that. That's all fine. But if it's minus 600K, minus 270K, it's just less fun to take a look at. And I also think for the streams or for the trades here, it is sometimes nicer to also keep it a bit more neutral. Rubbing your eye, as you say, virtual eye twitching. I don't know what that means. Khalid says only XRP is pumping out of all the top cryptos. Yeah, I mean there was a few memes that have actually done really, really well, like the broccoli, right, from CZ. There's a couple of coins in that nature that did really, really well. But it's mostly here, indeed, been XRP that did well. Buddy Spirit says, Eleanor posted the document if you want to read it. Now, we actually just read it. There's nothing too significant to cover in that, though. I think the only thing left to do is just ChatGPT and myself. But I think some of you guys have already ChatGPT'd it, right? Let's let me copy the post here. Let's paste it into ChatGPT. I have to log in. I'm not logged in. All right. Okay, let's say SEC acknowledgement. What does for a 19B4 filing? Man, why am I doing this on the computer? I'm not logged in here. We grab the phone. I could just copy this, I guess. There we go. Let's see if it says a certain amount of date. Because again, you can never trust the comment section too much, right? What does that mean? Let's see on the phone. All right. But I believe it's just 45 days. Brad did a new post. All right, let's take a look. All right, so Brad. Hey, I remember this guy. Are these all from the financial committee? Let's see. Walked away from an action-packed day in DC yesterday with the feeling that there is finally an incredible opportunity to advance meaningful bipartisan legislation that establishes clear, constructive, and pro-innovation regulatory frameworks for crypto. Thank you to these great leaders, and all these different representatives are added, and others not pictured. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys are catching the hint, but from the way I personally see it, what I'm kind of feeling right here is this basically just means they know something's about to happen, man. I don't know if he can really give it to us in any other angle, but from the way I view this, is just Ripple now stating in a good spot, and they can't do it any other way except for just saying, hey, these have been some good days. And that's also, I think, why he said that response just now to Eleanor. But ChatGPT says, review timeline. Upon acknowledgement, the SEC has a 45-day window to review the filing and make an initial decision. And they can extend it, though, to maximum 90 days if there's a reasoning for the delay. Let's see here. This was posted, actually, funnily enough, this was posted a few days ago. Wait, what was this about? So this is with regards to the Xrp ETF race beginning as WisdomTree, Bitwise, 21 shares, and Canary submit their 19B4 filings. Let's see. 4 major asset managers have filed applications for Xrp spot ETFs with the SEC. The SEC's decision could set a precedent for future crypto ETF applications. It's interesting to me, actually. Don't you reckon they will actually have to make a decision on the lawsuit first before they can actually do something about this? Thinking about that one. But I guess, yeah, just we're in a positive light, right? I don't know. I feel as if this is nice. I feel as if we're on the right path. But guys, I don't want to hold you for too long. Just a quick little stream, only half an hour. Just quickly going over exactly what just happened. A lot of people must be wondering exactly what it meant. Those are my thoughts on the situation. Again, if you're interested in joining the competition, there's a link down below. We right now are second, and it's hurting me mentally. All right, you do not want to know the agony I am feeling right now to not be first. This hurts significantly. I am feeling. There we freaking go. All right, 3 a.m. That's exactly the spot I want to end at. Man, this is amazing. Anyway, link for that is down below for our team. We'll probably do another massive campaign again soon. We just did a it was a little bit less than $50,000 campaign. Just gave it away to the top 20 people. Well, I think it was 10 top people and 10 best P&L. It just depends. Yeah, it was just now. Probably we'll do something else rather soon. Anyway, see you guys again in another one. Hopefully somewhere later today or tomorrow. Depends on what comes out. If there's any news, I'll be sure to cover it, of course. Right now, all we got is this Xrp ETF news, and I'm still excited about it, but yeah, that's about it.